Good morning, friends. Today I would like to discuss something for UPSC mains and prelims. In that, first thing is that the financial ministry has given the statement that the private public sector banks have to depend on the capital infusion. So before going to the capital infusion, let me discuss something about the Indradhanush, which was set in the year 2015. There are two Indradhanush projects. One is something like Mission Indradhanush, which is related to the health issues, and the second is that Indradhanush for bank favors. So what is this Indradhanush means? Basically, Indradhanush means it's having seven colors, and in the seven colors, in this project there are 7 points, namely appointments, bank board bureau, capitalization, de-stressing of banks, empowerment of banks, framework for banks, and governance of banks. So before going to each and every individual, let me say something about appointments. Means in the traditional way, there were bank managers and executive directors, but Indra stated that for the topmost banks like Punjab National Bank, Canara Bank, and some other banks like Bank of Baroda, there should be two executional level officers. One is managing director and CEO, and the other one is the non-executive chairman. Because of this kind of appointments, there will be a good improvement in the banks sector. Means both non-executive and executive will come to a conclusion for the betterment of the capital infusion in the country. Next is that there should be a bank board bureau, which will be consisting of executive director and managing director. So again, this will be interconnected to the appointments that are being made by the government of India. Next is the capitalization. Capitalization means the amount or the money should be come from both ends, that is from the government and then banks itself. Means 30% of the bank's money will be utilized for the insurance project and 70% will be provided by the government of India. Next is that it should be distressed, means the bank should be distressed based on the following things. Means first is that there are pending policy discussions, long-term availability, discounts, promoters, and many more. Means for the when it comes to something like NPS, means most of the government projects are stopped during the project's conclusion because of the many things like licensing and long-term availability. Next is that policy renovation. So these types of policy renovations and licensing forms should be cut off so that there will be NP disclosures in the country so that the economy will be upwards. And what is this NP? Means non-performance assets are mostly in the terms of the central government and central government bank. Next is that empowerment of banks should be made using technologies such as ITAT was saying to regenerate the things. And next is the framework for the banks, that is key performance indicators and statement of intent. Means key performance indicators will be based on the 100 points, and in this 100 points, 80 points will be given for the key performance indicators and 20% for the statement of intent. Next is governance. Governance and the reforms should be taken in such a way that every body will be having every bank will be having the same weightage for the capital infusion. And one more thing that I had happened yesterday means on 26th of Jan means government has transferred 12 directors, 12 executive has named 12 executive directors for different banks across the country. So this is a very good question for paper 2 and paper 3. Means how Indradhanush will help in capital infusion of the country or explain the importance importance of independence for the economical growth of the country. Thank you. Moving on to the next news, that is Indian economy is less vulnerable to the external shocks. Means Indian economy is mostly depending on the household and government spending rather than depending on the foreign income. Most probably, even though India is depending on the FDI, FII, but it is very less when compared to the other countries. So, on basis of this reason, Indian economy is less vulnerable to external shocks. The first thing is that whenever we speak about the Indian economy or the external shocks, we speak about the current account deficit and the POP. India's fastest state means balance of payments in the year 1991, 1990, and it has changed its economic policies. So based on this, now we will be speaking about the current account deficit. So before going to current account deficits, how it will be changing Indian economy, let us discuss something about current account deficit. Right now, the India is having 1.4% to 1.8% of outgoing current account deficit. So what is this current account deficit means? It is a difference of inflows and outflows. Suppose if a country like India is purchasing $3 billion of cotton and it is producing the $2 billion of cloth and it is giving back, then the difference is $1 billion and this will be the current account deficit for the country. And it is moving at the rate of 1.4 to 1.8% and it will be reached in the year 2018 financial year. So what will happen means Indian economy will be depending on the Indian markets and the capital markets of India will be depending on the Indian banks rather than depending on the financial sectors of the other country. And also it deals with very less hot money. So what is hot money? Hot money means again it's the inflow versus the outflow of the money, the passage of money within a seconds. And what is the terms of in terms of GDP, how much is current account deficit means it is 1.3% of GDP. And how can the Indian economy can be improved rather than depending on FDI and FII? Means it can be improved through the employment and employment can be improved through the practical based education rather than depending on theoretical based education. As the reports suggest that only 20% of engineering students are eligible for the employment. Then what about this 80%? This 80% should be made employable in the organized sector than in the unorganized sector so that the Indian economy will be improved. So what kind of questions can be asked from this means how the Indian economy is not affected by the external shocks, or what is the reason for the sustainable economic development even though the world is in economic crisis. Moving on to the next topic, that is psychosis. What is this psychosis? Before we go to psychosis, let me tell you where it was found and why it is used and how it will be related for the UPSC examination. It was found in Uganda in 1947. It is a kind of virus which brings you the fever, joint pain, and many more things. And it is having no vaccination apart from the paracetamol. And what are its symptoms? Means it won't leave you for several weeks. And why it will happen in you means it is because of the infected mosquito which will bite you. That is Aedes aegypti muga. Means if this mosquito bites you, then you will get a fever, joint pain, which will be there for 7 days to almost 1 month. So why this is known means in the Brazil there were 150 kids which was dead out of 4,000 kids during that period of 3 months, and this is because of this Zika virus. So how is that means the babies with microcephalic head size means the babies which are having large size of head they will be having the Zika virus, and due to this Zika virus, they are most probably stillbirth dead or they will be dead during the time of birth. So this is the reason it is in news. And what are the regions in the world which are affected means Africa, South Africa, South America, and North America are mostly affected from this Zika virus. How does US means North America is being affected means it is because of the traveling or the migration from South America and Africa. And as I said, it was found in Uganda, and so it has been widespread throughout Africa. And in Brazil, as I already stated, that 150 kids of 4,000 has been died due to this Zika virus in the last 3 months. It is spreading over South America. And since this is having no vaccination, the research has to be done for the vaccination of Zika virus, which is next Ebola. And next thing is that in what way the question can be asked in UPSC examination means there are three possible ways. First thing is that scientific comment in paper essay, and paper 2 for the international relations, and paper 3 for the science or biological part. So there are three possible ways for the questions in UPSC. So have a look at it. Next topic, that is oil price growth. We can see that from the past 8 months there is a constant decrease in oil prices in the global wise. So who will be the losers and who will be the winners? Why is it so important in terms of economic conditions of the world? Let me say about losers first. The exporting nations such as Gulf countries like Saudi, these countries are in crisis, economic crisis. Why is it so means they are mainly depending on the oil price. As the oil price is dropping, they will be also dropped. And because of this reason, Saudi Arabia is already having social problems, and due to this, economical problems are also rising, and hence it is being done as the biggest loser in the oil price drop apart from every other country. Next is that renewable energy companies are also losers when it is compared to the other countries, other companies, because when there is a fall drop in commodity X, then the people doesn't go for the commodity Y because both are having the same functions, and if they are having the same functions, every people will take the product X rather than depending on the Y. The same thing is happening since the oil price is mainly for energy, means oil is for mainly energy. They won't be looking at the renewable energy companies, and hence these are also called as the losers. But the winners are the importing countries such as China, US, India, and Europe. Let me come to the first US. So why US is also generating oil, but still it is also in terms of winners because of the two reasons. One is that it is having large number of vehicles in the world, and the next is that US oil is sufficient for all its content. It's not depending on the import or in even for exporting. So this is making it reliable even though oil price is dropping. And the next is that China's economy is slow going, and due to this oil price drop, China's economy is being stabilized. Next is that government, Indian India is also being the part of the winners because of the oil price drop. Since most of the India is depending on the normal fuel rather than biodiesel or any other thing. Next is that Europe is also having positive points rather than having negative points. Due to this, oil price drop is very important for the two facts in the UPSC examination. The first fact is that in the paper 2 and paper 3, this type of questions will be asked. And in the paper 1, in 2014, there was a question on shale gas. So this is very important for prelims, mains, and even in essay. So have a look on it. What is organic farming? So what is this organic farming and why it is in use? Before going to this, tell you something about this. In India, there are three sectors. First is primary sector, second is secondary sector, and tertiary sector. In the primary sector, we will be depending on the agriculture practices. Next is that industry, and then services. Now, as the time turns, there is a shift from agricultural practices to the services sector for the GDP, in terms of GDP and in terms of economic growth. But still, many of the farmers or most of the population is depending on the agriculture. And even though agriculture is dependent, there are some factors that is burdening the farmers. That is unseasonal rains, drought, and pesticide problems. Means we can come across El Nino and La Nina time, and during this time, we'll be usually getting plus surplus rain or deficit rain. When surplus rain is there, there will be a floods. Means due to the unseasonal rains, we will get most of the times floods. And during the El Nino effect, we can find a drought. Apart from this, there are some other problems such as pesticide problems and soil problems. So when we are having these many problems in traditional agricultural practices, we can go through organic farming. So what is this organic farming means? This organic farming deals with the pesticides and the natural occurring materials for its growth, and it is lesser than the normal traditional agricultural practices, but still it is one of the main option and reliable options for the country. Denmark, which is depending mainly on the organic farming, and it is having almost 80% of its agricultural practices through the organic farming. So why this news means in Kerala there is something called a Fair Trade Alliance of Kerala, which is a cooperation of a cooperative farmer society. So what they are doing means these Fair Trade Alliance of Kerala will be organizing the farmers, and they will be making the whole agriculture field in a single field. And due to the implications of organic farming, they are yielding more than what the other traditional farming is doing. So in India, if you practice the organic farming, and since we are having the marginal and small farmers will make up to 38%, means almost more than 25%, almost 38% farmers are eating less than what they are spending on the agricultural practices. So if they start doing this organic farming, then there can be an increase in agricultural growth as well as economic growth of the country. So there are some other problems for input cost for the traditional agricultural practices such as water, fertilizers, seeds, machines, labor, etc. etc. So this is a very good point for your UPSC mains. The first point, this can be used in paper 1, that is in geography, or this can be used in paper 3, either in economy or in ecology based questions, and even this can be asked in prelims. And even this point can be used, means this Fair Trade Alliance of Kerala can be used in your essay, which is a very good point for your answer. So this is it. Please have a look on it. Moving on to the editorials, let me speak about something for Arunachal Pradesh. From the past 6 months, Arunachal Pradesh Legislative Assembly has made an amendment, and This is having the reason for the central BJP-led NDA government to impose the resident rule on the Arunachal Pradesh. As in the constitution book says that every legislative assembly and the parliament has to meet once in a 6 months and it is compulsory. And this procedure hasn't been followed by the Arunachal Pradesh Legislative Assembly because of its own conflicts. It is facing its imposed from the central government, and this impose has been made under the Article 356 of Clause 1. So here we can see that there are two things. First is that the federalism, and the second thing is that is there is can BJP led the India government validate in both the houses. We all know that BJP led the NDA government is having the majority in Lok Sabha, but it is not having the majority in Rajya Sabha. So if they want to impose, then it has to be followed through this Rajya Sabha, and it has to get a simple majority to impose. That is two-thirds of the majority. Sorry. Uh, and even Supreme Court is taking the case because the Guwahati High Court has ruled out the governor stand that is governor didn't call the session and it's a constitutional question, and based on this the Supreme Court has taken the case to whether to impose the president rule on the Arunachal Pradesh or not. So we have to, for the UPSC examination, we have to think like this. Means when there is federalism in the state, that should be along with the one party stand or the multilateral party stand. And the next question is that whenever there is a president rule, is there is it uh, is it a tool from the central government to control the state government? Is it necessary? Even if it is necessary, how it should be overcome or overwhelmed by the state government? Next is that governor stand is governor with constitutional tool in the hands of central government. We have to think about that also. And final thing is that Supreme Court is playing a very crucial role in order to safeguard the constitution along with the president. But during this time, president role must have more credentials than the Supreme Court. And this was the question in 2015 games. So guys, please look out for the questions in P2 essay prelims. And if you have taken political science and international affairs as your options, this is a very good important question because most of the questions in 2015 paper was based on federalism, and you might get a question this time also. Thank you. First topic is Indian-France relations. Since Holiday was in India for the 3 days tour, he came across many of the deals, such as he signed 16 MOUs, and in that 3 MOUs were directly related to the smart cities, which is a trade plan of Narendra Modi's government. So before I this, let me say something about the partnerships of various countries. India and China is called as the big trading partner because India and China is having the largest trading among themselves. And when it comes to the US, it is called the defense partner because India and US are tying up in nuclear related and which is directly related to the defense. Next is that Russia. Russia is the oldest partners, and it is a major military supplier for India. And we can see Indra and many more bilateral agreements and bilateral exercises in the uh, among the countries. Next is that when it comes to India and France, it is called a strategic partner. Why it is so means we can see that both India and France has come across two important terrorist attacks. One is that Paris attack, and one more is that Pathankot attack. So depending on this, we can see that both India and France are developing a strategy to fight against the terrorism, and in the MOS that has been signed, it is one of the things that both the countries are looking for. The next is that space technology, where both India and France is looking to exchange the information among themselves for the better future of the space technology. And India is having a very good track record in the space, as it is the first country to have Mars on its first trial. And this is the same thing which has been attracted, it has attracted fans to come to India for the space. And next is the defense. 2 weeks back, Shakti has taken place, which is the bilateral exercise between India and bilateral France, bilateral exercise between India and France. And this is the thing. These are the things which are major attractions between India and France. But and the fourth one is the smart city agreement. This is also a very good attraction by the Indian fans bilaterals. But the thing is that bilateral trade, which doesn't took place, even though India is having 10%, Indian is having 10% finance from the France, means France individuals are coming here and they have set up the companies here, but still it France didn't came to any bilateral trade, and this is one of the major concern issues since Narendra Modi is going for the European Union convention, and we are looking forward so that Modi will make some negotiations there, and he'll sign some bilateral trade so that the overall quest, means the political, economical, social, and technological tie-ups within India and France will develop both the countries, and will obviously increases the strategies for the betterment of the country as well as the nation, world. And being France is one of the big G8 country, it is batting in the UN to make India UNSC permanent member. So these are all the issues which are very much required for the mains examination, and this question can be asked in paper 2, prelims, paper 3, and this point can be used in your essay also. So these are very much required, and thank you guys. This is Jan 26th of 2016. I would like to discuss something about Republic Day. So why we celebrate Republic Day means on 1950 Jan 26 we adopted a constitution. It was under the guidance and chairmanship of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, and we are called as the largest democratic country in the world. And as additional information, let me give you that India is having the oldest constitution in the world. So, what is the constitution? Basically, constitution is a law book, and depending on it, we are celebrating the Republic Day. Before going to the constitution, let me say something about republic. Republic means in India, anyone can be the prime minister or the head of the state or even the head of the government. So we can see that Abdul Kalam was a scientist, he was a president, and we can also see that Narendra Modi, who was a tea boy, is now a prime minister. So India is somewhat standing for its republic term, but what about its constitutional terms, such as there was something called secularism, and then socialist, and many more cases. Let me explain from point to point. First is that Hindu Mahasabha is organizing Jan 26 as a Black Day. So, are we republic? This is a question every Indian should ask to himself. So, means should India be called as in a Hindu state or it should be called as a secular state? Even though the majority of the population is Hindu, other human beings are also present in this country. So we should call India as India as secular country rather than calling Hindu state. So based on this, secularism is not still implemented completely, and every person is having a chance to express his views. But still, as per my view, India should call as a secular state rather than going for a Hindu state because it's always a political gambling when it comes to the religion in India. Next is that this has happened today on Jan 26th. And next is that unparliament words against IAS officer in Kashmir. So who are these IAS officers? Means they are the civil servants, and when somebody is serving you in a very good constitutional post, the political leaders should not use unparliamentary words for their benefits. But still it is happening, and this shows the constitution laws are not binding on anyone, rather than giving the freedom of expression a major advantage to each and everyone. So there should be some limitations for the use of freedom of expression. This has been done in terms of films, censure boards, and many more. So even this has to be taken a look. Next is that social cases. So in 2015, we can come across the Darjeeling. Is India socially safe as far as census is no. So even when we are saying Republic Day, means when we have adopted the constitution, it has to follow the constitutional rules, but still it is not following constitutional rules, and this has to be taken care of. This also means social problems such as poverty and uh, women harassment and many more social issues has to be taken care of. Next is that Arunachal Pradesh is under the presidential rule. Means again here we can see there's a federalism problem, but the federal India is also called as a quasi-federal state. But still, Arunachal Pradesh is fighting with the center, and the center is imposing the president role in the Arunachal Pradesh. This is making a stiff competition about the cooperational federalism. And next is that IAF shoots object in Rajasthan. Means India's stand on security. Means in 2016 itself, in the January, we can come across the things like Pathankot terror attack, which is in Punjab, and this shows that Indian security. So when we are calling India as a republic, democratic country, India should follow the terms that are used in constitution such as secularism, social issues, security, and federalism. Next is fundamental rights, fundamental duties which are being awarded for the citizens for the betterment of human things. This question can be asked in all the papers, like in paper 1 about the history of social issues. Next is paper 2 for the things related to the unparliamentary words or secularism or social issues, social justice, federalism, or even in paper 3, that is internal security, and next in paper 4 as an ethical question for each and every Indian, especially for the IAS officers, what should be the done during the times of this type of case in terms of case study, and this question can be also asked in essay. Is India Republic? Guys, if you write the essay on this question, that is India Republic, and if you put me back the answers. I'll give a complete review on your essay and I will award some points out of 125, which is very necessary for your examination. This is something which is related to all the questions. So please have a very careful look on these articles and have a deep analysis as I have done in this video. Thank you. Moving on to the prelims-based questions, there are somewhere around seven important topics from the various current affairs. The first thing is that Indian government has uh, named 12 executive directors for various banks across the country, and this is one of the implications under the mission Indradhanush, which I have discussed already in main part. And next is that Arunachal Pradesh is under the president's rule based on the minister's parliament's central minister's advice. This is because of unconstitutional words that have been used against the speaker, and 12 Congress MLAs has joined BJP, 11 BJP members plus 2 independent MLAs in order to bring down the speaker. And it is a very good question for prelims as well as mains. Means you have to look for the president's rule and how can the emergency of state can be avoided or implemented. And here it is based on the Article 356 of Home Laws. And next is that Disney in US looking for the law of sorts means Disney in US is taking its employees out and it is looking for the employees from various other countries and especially from the India and the US is ready for 85,000 H1B visas which will be awarded for the employees from the other countries. Next is that new software for IT returns has been uploaded from the income tax department. This is due to the reason of that digital signature certificate was not uploading in the software, and this is a very good question for prelims. Next is that Syed Akbaruddin, who is a permanent executive in the UN, has presented his credentials to the UN, which is stating that there should be an convention on the anti-terrorism, and next one is that India should be made a permanent member in the Security Council, that is UNSC. These are the important credentials that have been given by the Syed Akbaruddin for the UN. That is Ban Ki-moon, who is the general director of UN, and he was the ISS officer from the 1985. And next is that India and China troops uh, attended for the coordinate in the line of actual control in Ladakh, and this has been done due to the result of two things. One is that India's initiated imaging center in Vietnam, and to reduce the tensions with Beijing, it has been first reason is this, and the second reason is that India's India's Republic was on January 26, and based on this, it was having a 4 day time. And next is that Indian global power for manufacturing. Since India is having the second largest mobile users and a large number of motor vehicle users, India can play a major role in global power for manufacturing. And these are the questions which are very much required for your prelims examination.